Mariano with the final bell, and I am joined by Iman Lee, 12-0 featherweight prospect. Iman, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. Not as good as you. I know that you have a lot going on in your career, especially the last couple of weeks. You wanna give us a little preview of what's in store next week?
Yeah, the 15th of April, which is Tuesday, we
Yeah,
fly out to Riyadh to for the Grand Prix for the Riyadh season.
yeah. And I'm assuming is this the first time you go head out to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, first
Yeah,
time.
in the Middle East. Yeah, nice.
Yes.
And just to give people some color about, how selective this is. So the WBC Grand Prix is it's a World Cup style tournament that's going to be televised on the Zone for everyone to see. It's 128 boxers that are mostly under 26. I know there's a few exceptions, but they represent 41 countries, so it's definitely like a global event.
Mhm.
32 fighters in each division, and it's a single elimination tournament. So the first phase, as you mentioned, is going to happen over like 4 days, right? The 17th to the 20th.
Yes.
How much time did you have as far as like finding out and being able to prepare for something like this?
Um, we knew pretty much before my last fight, so we knew maybe about 2, 3 months, and then it wasn't confirmed until around the same time that I fought.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe like 2 months, 3 months now.
Um, did you was there any point in time where you thought about maybe not taking that fight because maybe didn't want to risk like some kind of injury, headbutt or something like that? Or were you pretty confident that you would take the fight and have enough time to get ready for this?
I felt pretty confident. I knew that we were just went in there, handle business, and then just be defensively smart at all times, and then
Yeah.
continue on.
Yeah. And look, it's a huge honor. So congratulations, first of all, on getting selected, man. I mean,
Thank you.
you and I talked a bit last year, and I did feel like out of the fighters in the New York area, you were a bit under the radar. But over the last year, probably since signing with CES and then this happening, there's been a lot going on in your life. Like, what are your thoughts about how your career has changed over the last year?
Um, I feel like it took some time for it to move the way it is now,
Mhm.
but I feel like everything happens for a reason at the right time. So I feel like we're pretty much getting to where we need to be.
Yeah, yeah. And given that fight that you did take against Bernardo Uribe in February at Foxwoods, walk me through that fight. I know you stopped him in 4 rounds, but walk me through that fight because I know you didn't know too much about him going in because he was like a late replacement, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to have a different opponent, pretty much a tougher opponent, more crafty opponent. I just went in there, listened to my coaches, knew I had to be defensively responsible at all times, use my jab, work the body, and just pick them apart.
Yeah, yeah. And do you I know you Mexican fighters, so they're always tough. They always like to come forward.
Hmm.
Now, one of the questions I had, and probably a question, I don't know if you already know the answer to this, but looking at the field of the fighters that are going to be in your weight class at featherweight, do you know who your first opponent is going to be, or is that something that they do by lottery system?
I believe we find out when we get there.
Oh, once you get there. So you're not gonna have
Yeah,
much time to like adapt to the style. It'll be more like you're training more generally now. Is that right?
yeah, pretty much.
For any style.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how does that affect your preparation when it comes to something like this? Like usually you know what kind of style you're going to be facing, so you look for sparring partners to kind of mimic that style. What do you do in this case? Do you try to mix it all up when it comes to like sparring partners?
Um, yeah, we pretty much spar with everyone, but as far as training and everything, we still pretty much train accordingly. It
Mhm.
doesn't really matter what style, who they are. We just continue to train and do what we do, and
Yeah,
then we just change the game plan accordingly.
yeah. And and hopefully, and assuming everything goes well, next week, it sounds like, if you make it all the way through this tournament, you're gonna fight like four more. It's basically four more times, right? Even after
Yeah, yeah, it's five. It's five in total.
five
So
and
after this one, then it'll be every other month.
right, right. That's amazing. And you've
Yeah.
never been as busy as this, right?
No, no, definitely not as busy as this, but busy is good.
Yeah, busy's great.
Mhm.
And at least you'll have more clarity about who your next opponent is, right? Because after that, I guess they do it more in like brackets.
Yeah, I would think so. It should be in a bracket.
Yeah, yeah. So it is a lot like soccer, right? Like the soccer style
Hmm.
World Cup, which most
Yeah.
do. Um, now, as far I guess, winning this tournament will set you up, right? It'll catapult you to the kind of the top of the rankings. Considering that, let's assume everything goes well. Do you feel ready to, like, say, compete for a world title sometime next year if all goes well in this tournament?
Yeah, if all goes well, we're definitely more than ready to compete for world title.
Yeah. And how much do you keep tabs on the division and, like, taking a look at, who's the champ and, like, who's getting replaced by contenders, things like that? Do you pay a lot of attention to that?
Not much. I pay attention to the fighters that I know or the fighters that I have similar styles to or that
Yeah.
I like. But other than that, I don't really keep tabs on too many
Yeah.
people.
Right, right. And I mean, looking at the top of the featherweight division, I don't have it in front of me right now, but there's some big guys, right? Like Rafael Espinoza was a tall guy, very rangy. And then you got guys like Bruce Shushu Carrington, who are more similar to your style in that they're slick and they're boxers. So it kind of varies, just like this tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to browse, like, who's in the tournament at your weight class?
Yeah, they actually just posted the list of who's gonna be in our bracket.
Yeah.
And we didn't really research. I think my dad researched more, but they showed pretty much everyone, the one out of 32 fighters that are in the weight class. They posted
Yeah.
everything online on the Instagram page.
Right. And this I do have in front of me right now. And I was looking through the names. Did anybody did you recognize any of the names, like, from the amateurs or anything like that, or no?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, looking through it, I didn't either. But one of the things that I noticed is, like, just like the amateurs, this is truly global, right? Like, there are fighters from Jordan, from Spain, from obviously from the US and Mexico, Ghana, like, it's basically from everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty much from everywhere.
Yeah. Does this remind you more of like that amateur, like an amateur tournament where you go compete, kind of get ready for the next one, compete, etc.?
Yeah, but I think the only difference is now it's not pretty much every day because in the amateurs you're fighting every day. So if you win, you fight the next day. You win, you fight the next day, and then you would also have to still maintain that weight throughout the whole week. So I'd
Right.
say that the amateur tournaments was a little bit different, but it reminds me of it.
Yeah, yeah. And the stakes are much higher, right? As far as the rewards.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I know that at least for the first round, it's going to be six round fights, no draws allowed. Do you know whether that progresses and you start to add rounds as the tournament continues, or no?
Yes, I believe the first two are 6 rounders, second two are 8 rounders, I believe.
One of the things I noticed, other than the rounds, is they're going to be using a lot of their, like, new technology, but also, like, rules that the WBC has been trying to implement. So, for example, there are going to be no draws here, so there has to be a clear winner. There's going to be open scoring after every couple of rounds. I think it's after every 2 rounds, so 2, 4, 6, and then there's going to be instant replay. What are your thoughts on stuff like that? For example, like the open scoring, is that more exciting, or do you feel like it's less exciting when it comes to a fight?
Um, I'm not really too sure. I don't really pay attention to the scoring as much. I just know at the end of the day, I got to get in there and make it obvious to the judges that I'm a clear winner and do what we have to do.
Yeah. Instant replay, I'm actually very in favor of. Like, I think that that's something that, it should have been done years ago. Probably every nation should. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. And I definitely think it shows a lot more that the judges may or may not see in certain instances. So I think
Yeah.
the instant replay is great.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It's like a no-brainer these days, right? With the technology we have.
Yeah.
Um, you know, the last question I have for you, because I know you're about to train, is, New York hopefully is having a resurgence, and now we have two champions at 140 with Teofimo Lopez and Richardson Hitchens. You got Shushu getting closer to a world title shot. You got Edgar Berlanga, of course, who fought Canelo and is still up there in the rankings at 168. You have a very good shot now at being like the fifth fighter to join that elite level of New York fighters. Am I missing anyone in that list that you can think of?
Um, I know Jahai is up there. Other than that, I'm not that I know of. Other than
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah. And how does it feel to join that league of fighters? Because I feel like you're right there, right? You're the
yeah, we're working our way, making our way to there. It feels pretty good. We actually just got the rankings for BF, I believe,
Yeah,
and
yep,
we're in top 20. So
yeah.
it definitely feels good to be gradually getting to where we need to be.
Yeah, yeah, and to get recognized because you are one of the best fighters in this area. I would say in the Northeast in general. Um, uh, how's it been fighting up in Connecticut a couple times and close enough to your home, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
people travel and see you in these big venues.
It feels pretty good. It feels pretty good. Definitely great to have the people from the hometown come out and support us always.
Yeah.
Definitely looking to get something a little bit closer, but
Mhm.
everything's been great.
Yeah. And while most people won't be able to join you in person for
Hmm.
this one next week,
Yeah.
thankfully it's going to be televised on the Zone, so a lot of people can be tuning in there. What do you want to say to your fans, local, national, that are going to be tuning in to watch you compete in this tournament?
I just want to say thank you for all the support. Tune in to see us put on a great performance.
Absolutely, man. Look, best of luck. We hope to see you hopefully sometime week after, and we can talk a
Hmm.
little bit about how that experience was. I hope you have a
Definitely.
great time out there and are able to at least maybe enjoy yourself a little bit after the fight so you can kind of take in the culture.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Sounds good, brother. Best of luck, man.
All right, thank you.
Okay.